Welcome to Sage-Based Wisdom. I'm Brian Bahe.
And I'm Jana Schmieding.
And we're podcasting to you from the sacred homelands of Daytona Beach.
Today we'll be giving you, our listeners, some advice cultivated indigenously from our backgrounds in finding the hippiest organic market in Edmonton, Alberta.
And sleeper cell awakening.
What?
But
go ahead. Yeah.
first, Jana, what's some advice you've been getting from the algorithm this week?
Oh my God. You guys, listeners, please forgive us because this is our first time doing a fully virtual. Brian and I and our producer John, who is for some reason on full silence during this entire thing.
But you can't see him, but we can.
You can't see him, but we can see him and hear him.
He's looming over Jana's video box, kind of like the Wizard
as a
of
producer.
Oz.
Like he is our official producer right now, and and it's just so fucking weird. We are like on complete opposite. I'm in Canada. I'm in Alberta, Canada, and Brian's in Florida.
I'm in God's country, Florida.
And John is holding it down in Cali, Southern Cali. So this is like truly like an international podcast recording for the first time. So we're really blowing it, and you're just gonna have to no one's ever done this ever. Okay. The advice that I got on the algorithm, John, go ahead and pull it up.
People will remember Kim Kardashian when asked, what advice she'd give to women in business, just telling us that we just have to get up off our f***ing ass and work.
When you hear something like that, think, why is this person saying this thing? Why would Kim Kardashian want to justify a system in which she is one of the wealthiest people in the world? Why would she want to feel like she deserved to be there? Why would she want you to feel like you didn't deserve to be there? If you realize that you have been oppressed and exploited and screwed over most of your life, and that's why you haven't achieved all of the things that you want to achieve, that's uncomfortable. It's scary, it's depressing, it makes you angry. Whereas if you just think, oh, well, I haven't worked hard enough. If I work harder, then maybe I'll get to the top. That's a more comforting thing to think. This is why we're seeing a big rise in the far right. You can say, someone has taken this from me, and it's immigrants, it's benefits claimants, it's trans people, whoever. The other option is to say this hierarchy isn't legitimate.
Yeah.
But that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortable because you realize all the ways in which the way you think about the world, the way you act is influenced by these forces beyond your control.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, oh, the world is so terrible, no one sees the way things are, I'm all alone, is to say there are lots of people who also realize that. We can come together and fight back.
And get organized.
Little tap of the spoon.
Ding ding. Okay, so
I couldn't hear anything she was saying because of her British accent. It's like one of those things where I'm like, it's so distracting that I nothing kind of computes for me.
here's what she's saying. I'll break it down for you.
Okay.
For your just small little anti-British mind, Bri. No, she's saying, she's sort of talking about the Kim Kardashian moment where Kim was like, if you want to be successful, then get off your fucking ass, you know, in her very Kimmy way, which was, you know, a huge controversy culturally last year for 2 whole hours. And they're saying, well, the problem is that with this theory is that it's uncomfortable to admit that this is like sort of the theory of the right, that something has been taken from you. Because it's easier to say, hey, you're taking my rights away from me, you're taking opportunities away from me, as opposed to saying, I didn't work hard enough, which is basically ignoring systemic oppression and like barriers to entry into a field, or like barriers to whatever success is, you know? And that's something that, like, you know, Kim is promoting, is like, you're just too lazy. That's why you're not successful, as opposed to like, there are systemic issues that are preventing you from like living your full potential, or like having all your dreams come true. Like her.
Right.
Yeah. So like not really, I don't know. Yeah.
Which so Kim is all right?
Oh yeah. I mean, Kim has always been kind of I mean, she's
the thing about
she's
Kim,
a Republican.
Though, she actually like does do a lot of stuff, which is kind of like, you can't hate on her for that. She's constantly collabing Skims and Nike. She's out here.
Yeah, totally. No, Skims and Nike. I think, yeah, but Kim works hard and
she plays hard.
She does play hard, but she's also fucking like the richest person, and she comes from a family of total privilege. I mean, yes, she has worked hard and like gotten the things that she wants in life, but she's also like, you know, she didn't start with nothing. It's not like started from the bottom, now we hear I'm Kim Kardashian.
Started from the middle.
Started from the top, and I'm here. My father like was one of O.J. Simpson's best friends. So,
I'm a Kim defender.
Listen, I've had my Kim. You are, or
no.
Do you like her?
No, I don't like her. I love her.
What is it, Bri? I feel like I've had like some amount of respect for the Kardashians for a minute, but now that she's like kind of on the Elon train, I'm a little bit like, I don't fucking care about you anymore. Like, this guy sucks so bad, and he's such a fucking weirdo to like collaborate with, like her little collab with Tesla.
I didn't know she was on the Elon train.
She just did a collab with Tesla. Speaking of her collabs.
Oh, shit.
She had like a whole photo shoot like on top of a Tesla, and it's like, read the room, honey. You know we're burning these shits in the streets these days.
Damn.
I just read about was it Canadian? Was it Canadian or somewhere? Maybe it was in the States. It was in North America, like 9 Teslas, like Cybertrucks or Teslas, got burnt up in their lot. They got set on fire, like in their actual Tesla lot. Like, it's going down hardcore.
I could start some shit right now in terms of, so Teslas have batteries. So we're just sitting on batteries?
Yeah. And they're really dangerous batteries.
And I'm stealing this. This isn't an original thought. This is somebody else's thought.
What?
Shout out Joseph Court. My boss.
Your boss?
But he tweeted that he's like, isn't it bad to just be sitting on a battery, you know, for however many hours a day you spend in a car? And in a way, it's like, that does make sense.
You're talking about actually sitting in a Tesla, that like it's dangerous to sit in a Tesla because you're sitting on top of batteries?
I mean, if you think about it, yeah, it's kind of like having a cell phone near your genitalia.
Wait, but
it's kind of like,
I didn't know it was the battery.
The battery is like the whole floor of the car, I think.
Yeah, but is that when you're talking about a cell phone and having it near your balls, is it the battery that's the dangerous part of the phone, or is it the reception? I thought it was the Wi-Fi connection.
Okay, I don't know. I was just throwing this out there.
Bro.
To start some controversy, I guess.
This is fake news. What are you, if batteries were that, I can't say what. I can't talk about the science of this because I fucking honestly know, and neither do you, but I call fake news. If it were dangerous to drive a battery operated car, they would have figured it out.
I don't think it's dangerous. I'm saying long-term effects. Have we?
Yeah, dangerous. That we're gonna get cancer in our asses because of driving around in battery operated cars. Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, Bri, I this clip is neither here nor there to me. Why the fuck are you in fucking Florida right now?
Okay. So, as you all know, I'm on tour. Did a show in Seattle, a blast. Did a show in Chicago, time of my life. Was scheduled to do a show in Columbus, Ohio. Low-key sold one ticket. It was a guy.
Has that ever happened in the history of stand-up comedy? I don't know. You might be like the first to ever sell just one ticket.
And it
happened
a guy
one time to me for an improv show famously at the Pit in New York. My improv team had one ticket sold, and we decided to pull the plug on the show. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to be outnumbered on stage.
Yeah. It was, and the one ticket sold in Columbus was a guy from Grindr who I hooked up with the last time I was in Columbus.
Oh my fucking God.
He texted me, he's like, am I going to get a refund? I'm like, yeah. Calm down.
Check your fucking memo. Oh my God. Okay. So you're in Ohio.
So no, I wasn't in Ohio. I was still in Chicago.
Oh, you canceled it before you even went.
I canceled it the day before I was supposed to fly to Ohio.
Copy.
And basically my next show's in New York in Sunday, so in like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I can either go to New York early, go back to LA, or go to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Got it.
Gay vacation.
Gaycation.
Gaycation.
Now,
Stay gaycation.
Stay gaycation. And so here's what I really want to talk about.
Okay.
I'm completely veering off of the course of this stupid fucking algorithmic advice.
Yeah.
You've been going on a lot of gaycations, Brian.
Yeah, I have.
Have you been sort of like, blossoming? Has your gayness been sort of just like what's going on? Is this something that gay men just often do when you have free time?
You know what I think it is? I think it's actually I have time and resources for the first time in my life to like do stuff.
You have money.
And so I'm just
you got money in your pocket.
I'm just like, let me do something for once,
Yeah. So this is kind of this moment in your life. You really do. And this moment in your life, you have a little bit of cash from your writing job, and you have some time before it starts up again. So you're sort of just like living your best gay life. And this is not first gaycation that you've taken. Because
what are you getting at, Jana?
I'm getting at a very important story that I need you to talk about.
Okay. So, I do want to preface this by saying I did come across this TikTok, which we actually should have played.
What the hell?
It's of Werner Herzog talking to Anderson Cooper, and he's telling Anderson what he teaches. I guess he was like teaching film students or something.
Oh, I've
And he's
seen
like-
this because we have the
He's
same
like, if you
algorithm.
want to
I've seen
fund
it.
your short, if you want to self-fund your film, do it with a job, but don't make the job a clerical job. Do like, he's like, work in an insane asylum, like work like out of taking care of animals or something. Like he's like, you like weird
join the
ass
circus,
jobs.
basically.
And what he's essentially getting at is that like, if you want to make cool stuff, you got to like do stuff.
You got to live a cool
know?
life.
You got to live like a life that isn't necessarily cool, but it's like, you're kind of going after, you're following your North Star in a way or something like that.
You're building
you're doing the stuff
character.
that-
You're doing hard things. You're like,
You're doing the
you
stuff
know,
that like is interesting or like fascinating or
absolutely
even hard to do. And that's why I did go on a full-blown tantric massage retreat in Mexico. 3 weeks ago. Look at John's face.
John is absolutely tripping the fuck out right now, in the same way that I tripped out about this when I heard about it, which is just the absolute, my mind was fucking blown, and I was like, tell me everything.
I mean, it's so crazy. I don't even know where to start. It's just one of those things where it's like, it fell into my purview. Okay, so first of all, like, I was like, I want to go. It's this place called somewhere, and
Sure. We don't have to give everybody the tea.
And okay, let's see. The dates aligned with when I would have some free time. I was like, I want to go somewhere like a beach place. I want to go somewhere gay that I've never been before.
But you
And then
talked to another gay friend, right? Who was like, hey, I did this.
yes. He was like, hey, there's this tantric massage retreat that's happening. And it was one of those things, it kind of goes back to me, like, I hate reading a menu at a restaurant. I'm like, can you please order for me? And this kind of like scratch that itch in a way where it's like, okay, it's getting me to where I want to go, and I don't have to do anything. And it's like,
in fucking sane, Rye. What? You don't like to read a menu? I almost created a podcast that was literally just reading menus.
I hate words. It's just like, this is actually annoying because I try to do this in stand-up, but it doesn't work. But it's like, I hate that menus just list ingredients and they expect us to do the mental math of like, oh, that's going to taste like this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I know.
I'm
It's like,
gonna
do
be- I'm
you
probably gonna,
expect me to know what the fuck a tartine is or a tartine,
Yes.
however the fuck you like? Just tell me what it is and what it. Show me a picture. That's
Show
why I
me a
love
fucking
going to a
picture.
Chinese food restaurant. There's always
Yes.
pictures, man.
Yes, I'm hungry. I don't want to read. I don't want to do mental math. Let me.
You know what I do is before I go to a restaurant, if it's that kind of restaurant where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is on this menu, I go to the Yelp page for that restaurant and I look at the pictures of the food and I choose based on the pictures what I'm going to order. I sort of have to do some like puzzle, like some, put in the pieces together of what is what, because not everybody captions their Yelp pictures.
That's like extra credit.
But yeah, even that is like a lot of work. So I see where you're going with this. Okay, so somebody basically told you, hey, I have a great recommendation for a fucking gay tantric sex. No, not tantric sex. Not even tantric sex. Tantric
Not even.
massage.
I would never do a tantric sex retreat.
You wouldn't? But you do a
I'm kidding.
tantric
I'm
massage?
Okay, and here's the thing.
Oh my God.
So I didn't really know what tantric massage was going into it, and I kind of didn't really know what it was after.
And
So
kind of
in
didn't really even Google it or do any amount of research about it.
It's one of those things that you hear all the time, and I'm just like,
Yeah, totally.
In my head, it's like touching somebody's ear, and then that makes them come. Like that's what tantric massage is
See,
to me.
when I was in high school, like I remember going to a party at somebody's house, and in one of the rooms, somebody had put on a porn, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, this is hilarious!" Like, hilarious. But it was like a sensual, like tantric. It was like the story of tantra. It was like an Indian kind of like the setting was India, and it was like the story of tantric sex. I don't know. And I was like, oh, this is what tantric sex is. Its origins are in India, and it's like this very like weird positions kind of sex.
It's giving when people had a lot of time to kill.
Yeah. Yes.
And
and also it's giving sex culture. Like there's parts of and I always say this about what I learned about tantric sex when I was young. I immediately attribute it to Native people and was like, God, I bet we had sex culture in our nations. I mean, I'm sure we did. Like of course we fucking did. Every culture has sex culture. In America, the sex culture is, I don't fucking know, prudeness, being a fucking
so
like
crazy.
But like, imagine what kind of sex
we don't know what
indigenous
it is.
people were having. Like, probably so fucking nasty and grimy and shit. And like, I know.
Is that what I'm trying to get at? Like, I'm trying to like make Native sex culture a thing again.
You're like the fucking
the worst person to do it.
You're like the exploring the roots. Make a documentary, Bri, and it's like a pornish documentary. Make the tantric sex porn of my high school experience, but for Native people. But also like Hopi sex culture is probably so different from Lakota sex culture. I don't know if Hopis were like poly, but like in Lakota culture, a man it was very like polygamous. Like a man has many wives.
No, Hopi would be the opposite because it's very matrilineal. So I think she would have.
Adopt me, Hopis. A dream. Okay,
So,
back to back to massage camp.
Okay, so finally, it's like okay, I'm on an airplane. I'm a little bit like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm so. What did I get myself into? It's giving freeze frame. You might be wondering how I got here. Me covered in foil.
Okay, wait. What did you pack? Did you pack anything specific to what you were maybe expecting?
They did say to pack light. they're
Wouldn't it be crazy if they were like, pack heavy, pack a lot of stuff?
So, I brought my laptop just in case. You want to know what is crazy, though? I did ultimately have to do a self-tape while I was there with one of the tantric massage guys reading the lines.
How did it come out? Was it pretty good?
I think it was kind of not bad.
Yeah, I mean, you were probably all relaxed and fucking tantrum up.
Okay, so it's like at this like hotel basically that's like very beach town vibe. Like the toilets were like it was like giving outhouse. It was like you shit in a hole.
What?
But then you have to cover it with sawdust.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
I'm immediately out.
I didn't know that was going to be the case because I talked to other people. I was like, do you guys who weren't staying? I like met people who like weren't staying at the hotel that we were at, and I was like, do you guys have dry toilets too? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh.
Even the people you're staying with, they're like, does your room have a fucking dry toilet? They're like, no. You've got the dry toilet room, Bri.
So, I mean, and then, okay, so here's the thing. This was like 6 days long. And it was kind of, I'm just looking at, so it was 6 days long. We would start at 7:30 in the morning and it would go until like 4. So I'm like waking up at 7:29. I'm like barely awake.
Oh man.
Running up these stairs to go get tantric massaged.
Oh my God.
And it was actually crazy. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, it was probably like 11 other people. And it was so, I think I told you this. It was so, what's the word that's like, not hippy dippy, but,
Woo-woo?
woo-woo.
Like,
was like
new
such an-
agey?
there was like a new agey component to it that I was not expecting really. I guess I was kind of expecting. And I'm like, anytime like woo woo or new agey comes into the picture, I immediately am like, this is so stupid. Like literally,
Truly.
I already did Catholicism. Like I don't have to do this. And so
Yeah, because also new agey also usually implies that there's going to be some kind of indigenous appropriation happening. It
Totally.
always does. Was there any sage burnt?
no, but there was one time where I was straight up massaging a naked man, and then there was like native flutes.
How did you get
my
through
glasses
it?
were like this. I was like, oh, I really got your shit. I was like, oh. And then I look over and there's native flutes playing.
Brian. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the best episode we've ever had. This is, if you don't fucking write a pilot and sell a show out of this experience, I will fucking kill you. I'll murder you. I'll murder you and then I will fucking write it. Oh my God. Okay, wait. I have questions.
Oh yeah, okay. So wait. So the last thing I'll say about the woo-woo part is that like, yeah, I was like, this is dumb, whatever. But then I was like, I have 6 days of this. Like, it would be crazy if I just spend the whole time rolling my eyes. So I was just like, what if I fully committed?
Yeah.
And I tried to as best as I could, and it ended up being like so interesting. I was
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
Yep. And this is the sage part of this experience, is that you, instead of being cynical and sort of like laughing, and I've said this about comedy before. I've said this about improv a lot. And I did years and years of improv. That one of the commitments that you make in doing improv and comedy in general is that you're agreeing with this group of other adults to completely commit to a moment, a scene, a true goofiness, a character, and nobody is going to break that reality. Like nobody's going to like the person who does break the reality or like is like walks into a scene between a donkey and a donkey trainer that two human beings are playing. The person that walks into the scene and goes, and cut. All right, everybody to lunch. You know, it's like that person's an asshole. You know, it's like you when and it I think it makes you a better person to be a person who's like, I'm gonna commit.
If you're gonna be there in a way.
100%. So once you did make that mental decision to commit, were you enjoying it more? Were you just more like, oh?
I think what it really unlocked for me was like, if I didn't commit, I think I would have had a little bit of like, I wouldn't have been on the same level as everyone else. Like I wouldn't have fully connected with these strangers that I was spending basically a week with. So in committing, I was able to just be like, oh wait, these are like interesting people.
Yeah. And did you meet anybody that's cool?
I met a few people that were cool.
Did you meet anybody that is an enemy?
That's a great question. No.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was great.
That's cool.
Everyone was just kind of like, it is kind of interesting. It's funny because they did ultimately find out that I do comedy. And so they're probably listening right now.
Hey, y'all. And here's the most important question. This is also, side note, this is what I'm saying about gay culture versus like straight culture. Like the life of a straight woman in my experience, is so wildly different than the lives of my gay male friends. It's like the accessibility of sex to men, period. The accessibility of sex to men when they are fucking each other is just like it's like so incredibly immense. And the inaccess that I feel like I have to sex, like I have always said my entire adult life, I was like, if I had the passive income to be able to afford, and there was a system with which I could hire a really attractive man who was really good at fucking women, if I could afford to pay somebody for that kind of a service, and I'm sure it exists, but it's like, it's not like I can just like find it. I would. But it's like totally part of, I mean, yeah. But it's just not like that for women.
Right.
Anyway, my question is, how many people did you jerk off, and how many times did you get jerked off?
That is so great. So there were 12 total. Mm-hmm. So I guess including me, so I guess 11 for both.
Okay, so basically you just are like rotating.
So it was giving rotate, yeah. It was
got
giving
it.
some person stays, and then you just like go in a circle.
John can't handle it.
That's what's crazy. Okay, so it was like in this like yoga studio that like had no walls really. So it was just like looking out over like the ocean and nature. And so it was like breeze was coming through, and then there was just like massage tables in like a circle, and it was just like everybody was like in a circle in the same room essentially.
Oh my God. Did you have a favorite, Bri?
I don't, maybe one or two.
I'm sure you did. I mean, if there was, I'll say this. Tantric aside, I got a massage this morning. I get a massage. I love a massage, okay? And my biggest fear is a happy ending. I am terrified that somebody's going to be massaging me and they somehow assumed or just like thought that I came to this place because I maybe wanted a happy ending. And so they're going to go downtown and use their hands. And I'm like, no. Like, how do I say no? You know, I don't want a happy ending. But also I'm obsessed with the feeling of being like touched and caressed. And I spent so much of my adult life not getting massages because I was very insecure about my body. And so I'm like, if you took the tantric part out of this retreat, this would be my favorite fucking retreat.
You know what? And that exists, I'm sure.
I'm sure it exists. But I don't want to be giving anybody else a massage.
Right. And here's the thing about me. I actually like giving people massages. I have to like them, but I do like giving people massages.
You do?
Not necessarily tantric, but like shoulder.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you said that. You said that you're good at it too. That you're like, you have pretty strong hands. Yeah.
I think I'm good. Shout out.
Yeah. I think I'm good at it too, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, fucking circle jerk style.
I will say there was I thought there would be like kind of like a direction on like, if you want to work this, you should massage this like this. And there was none of that. It was just kind of like, here's some oil.
Really? So you didn't even learn like interesting massage techniques? See, that's where they fucked up.
Yeah, I feel like we learned like chakras.
Did you really learn chakras? Like, can you tell me what all the chakras are right now?
No, but I know how to close one.
And I know how to open one up, baby. I'm really good at the dick chakra. The cockra, as they say.
That's the title.
Okay, here's my next question. this I guess kind of goes along with the idea that there was no real like massage training, but like in my mind, a tantric massage for a man would include like a perineum massage, you know, like a taint rub. Or like a butthole thing, you know, like a prostate massage.
That was
Am I wrong about that?
Her perineum was definitely on the table for sure. Not
Was it
necessarily
taught?
prostate.
Was it talked about?
Yeah, kind of. There was some
And
direction.
what was the direction? I'm asking for a friend.
No. Oh, the direction? I actually don't agree with the direction. I think the direction was to use your knuckle and to be like but
wait,
I think you're not like but like just like
I can't see. Your video is freezing, so all I see is you going.
Oh no. Okay.
It's fine.
It's just this. Fuck.
You have to use your words, Brian. You have to use language to describe to me what was the teaching about that, and what do you think it should be?
I think it's straight up just finger, but like
in the butt.
Or
finger
perineum.
On the perineum, gently.
Yeah. Gently.
Like circular motion. What are we talking?
I think like around the perimeter.
Okay.
This is so crazy.
Am I correct? The perineum is behind the balls.
It's the hole, right? The taint. It's the taint.
The perineum is the taint.
Scratch everything I just said. So if you're doing hole, we were instructed to use your knuckle, which I disagree with. If you want to like rub the outside of the hole, I suggest using your just your finger.
Okay, but what about the taint?
Perineum taint. I think that's just kind of like go with your gut.
What? That's not direction. No.
You just got to feel it out. See what they respond to.
Okay. But you think not a knuckle in the butthole.
No, I'm like, I don't get that. That's like, what?
Maybe it's just like, is it the feet? Because the knuckle maybe is... Okay, here's my assumption. That the knuckle, the finger is almost like not enough girth. The knuckle, it gives the sensation of a bit of a stretch, and it sort of, you can kind of like make more contact with the prostate via a knuckle.
Yeah, I get that. But it's like a little...
John, why don't you go ahead and silently sound off on this? Nobody's going to hear this. You're learning so much. Copy that. This is a very interesting learning experience, and I feel like we've all garnered wisdom from your escapades.
I will say this. This was one of those things that I was like so like, I was like, I'm never going to tell anybody about this. but then I did, because it is like a gay place where I went, gay beach essentially. Mm-hmm. I did ultimately run into a friend from New York there, and I had to be like, he's like, my god!
But it wasn't at the retreat that you were.
He was just like,
you ran into a friend.
Beach.
It was like at a different area.
He was just like at the beach where everybody in the town goes, basically. And he's like, "Whoa, crazy, you're here and
by yourself."
Like, yeah. And he's like, "Who are you here with?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm like with a tantric massage." But you know what? I'm glad that was meant to be. The world.
It was meant to be. That's right. That is fucking right, Brian. You have to. This is the kind of shit where I'm like, this is what makes you so fucking cool. This is the kind of shit that makes you specifically so fucking cool. Not only that you did it and you committed to it and you stayed for the whole week and you just jerked all 11 fucking people off and got jerked off by 11 men. You and maybe learned a little bit of massage technique. Maybe not. Who cares? You're talking about it and it's fucking cool. Because you know what? There's probably some gay native men listening to this podcast right now who are like,
oh my God.
I had no idea idea that existed. I could do a tantric massage retreat myself.
Whoa, for sure. Damn, you're so right about that. I'm the change I want to see in the world.
That's right. Sex positivity. We live for it. Speaking of queerness, we have a caller. We should probably take this call.
That's good.
And then obviously return back to this incredible story. But let's listen to our caller.
Okay.
Hi, guys. I'm calling back in to give an update and ask for more advice. So I called in a few months back about having a crush on my neighbor who was in a relationship, but I was in a relationship. And I was like, should I shoot my shot? Anyways, a lot has happened since then.
Oh, baby. Oh.
So me and my ex broke up in October, the details of which are quite juicy. Basically, 9 months ago, she went to Thailand and I was in Australia. And the first night she was there, she cheated on me with visiting a sex worker, but she didn't tell me all that until she made up a story about being drugged and assaulted.
Whoa.
And didn't answer her phone for like 9 hours. And so I was freaking out because I was in Australia. I called the embassy, I called her parents, I called my parents, anyways, and then flew to Thailand to like support her through this trauma.
Holy shit.
And then in that moment, she told me, oh, I cheated on you the first night in Thailand. And then she waited 9 months to tell me that being drugged and assaulted was actually a lie as well. And that she manipulated me into going to support her or like cutting my trip short. Anyway, so that was a mess. So at that moment, I was like, yeah, we need to break up. And then things got really crazy because she was sober for 5 years. And then once I said I want to break up, she basically relapsed. And
That's not fair.
this is where the hot couple down the street comes in. Basically, she had no one else to talk to, and the one that one of them was home that day. So I was like, hey, maybe you should go hang out with her and like get some more support. So she ends up staying at their house. My ex ends up staying at their house for 2 weeks, basically drinking the whole time. They're like taking time off work. They're like making sure that she hasn't like drowned in a puddle of her own vomit. I'm freaking out. She like broke stuff in their house, I learned later. And then the whole time, apparently, she was just talking about how she was the victim in all of this. Really horrible stuff. Also, our neighbors, great people for taking care of her. And then my ex moved back home. We live internationally, I should say. So she moved back to the U.S. Anyways, all that is to say, the whole situation blew up. And now I don't have that issue that we were talking about before. And but I'm not gonna like pursue my crush on the neighbors, just given like I'm not even they're like very good friends now. But I have been, going on the apps, sowing my wild seed, as we talked about last time. And I really realize that I'm an extreme romantic. And even though I like hook up with these people and say, no, it's just a physical thing, like don't get attached, I just immediately get attached. And I guess that's what I'm asking for advice today on, like how to be cool, like be chill, be more chill about it. It's only been like 4 months since the breakup. And I already met someone that, like, I would be interested in pursuing a relationship with. Although he does live in London, so, which is across the world from where I'm living. Yeah, I'm just such a romantic. It's a problem. Any advice to hopeless romantics out there? Thanks, guys.
This is our best episode yet.
This is by far our best fucking episode. Remember when you logged on for this first virtual episode and you were like, wait, are we really doing this? Aren't you glad that we're really fucking doing this?
This is gonna get us an Emmy, this episode.
Yeah, because podcasts go to the Emmys. Let's submit it to the Emmys just in case.
Yeah, we'll type a transcript out.
Okay. That was insane.
That's
First
crazy.
of all, to this caller, I am so sorry. That's some trauma. That's some drama and some trauma.
That's drama and trauma, but I also am a little bit like, did our caller not see signs? Like, were there red flags that the caller potentially ignored? Because just the things that happened were so like big.
Ultimately,
Like,
the advice is I'm a romantic,
for sure.
and I fall for people who, and I think the problem with, not the problem, but like what this caller is describing is something that probably you and I both have dealt with in our lives, which is like, you're just really prone to being infatuated with people, and which is a delightful quality because you really like it's easy to gain crushes on people, and like having a crush is so fun, and like you're into like the mystery and the intrigue and like the but I think I was told this, I think this is some wisdom that I picked up as a younger woman, which was, if something feels fiery in the beginning, it's like hot and cold, and there's just a lot of intrigue, and there's a lot of like mystery, and it's just like, and you're just pining for this person, and it might be unrequited at times, you're not really getting the reception that you want from the situation, but it's like, it just feels like it feels unstable, and that's sexy,
Yeah.
Things that burn hot burn out, basically.
Very Rory and Jess from Gilmore Girls in a way. Fiery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brian loves to bring in Gilmore Girls into this podcast. I have never seen a single full episode of Gilmore Girls in my life. So I do actually love.
You would love it, I bet.
I think have you watched Sex and the City, old Sex and the City?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to think of something that maybe I've watched that you haven't watched. Probably nothing. But yeah, I think it's like, it is like a fiery, it's just.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You have to kind of be careful with those kinds of crushes because they will burn out. And you, the person who is crushing on this person, you will ignore red flags to your own detriment. When you're blinded by a unhealthy obsession with somebody, or a unhealthy delight in somebody, and you're unable to disconnect your feelings from the sex sensations, then it's gonna end in a shitty fucking way, and they're gonna mistreat you possibly.
I feel like I have a lot in common with this caller because of what you're saying. I love to come in hot and heavy. And just literally like, to move to London to be with somebody is like, that's something I would think about doing for, with somebody I've known for a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's like, you gotta take it so slow, which is so boring.
It's also,
but it's
hard to take it slow when it's hard to take it slow when you're really fucking attracted to somebody. And here is my advice. As somebody who has, for the longest time, ran into relationships and then stopped having relationships because they would end so badly and so traumatically. Sometimes for me, sometimes for the other person, because I went in so heavily. I think you have to look at yourself and think, why am I attracted to these fiery things? At what point am I going to be attracted to a normal thing? And
Totally.
I think it's less about how you enter into a relationship and more about what are you allowing yourself to be attracted to.
The pre-work.
Yeah, it is sort of like a lot of self-work that you have to be like, oh, I think that there's like, open your heart to an attraction that is maybe a little different. Like, open your heart to like a kind of attraction that maybe doesn't burn so hot in the beginning. That's like maybe a friend who you don't know, who you're like not necessarily considering. Here's what I'm saying is, if you like, I've had just so many female friends who are like, yeah, I went on a first date with this guy and like, I don't know, the sparks weren't really there. And my argument is always like, well, give it a second and a third date and try to build some sparks. Like, don't just like assume that the sparks are always going to be there, because sometimes they're there and they shouldn't fucking be there. Sometimes the spark is because that person is so charismatic and all they want to do is bang you and ditch you. Like, it's like if you want a relationship with somebody that is really meaningful, give a person who doesn't have sparks in the very beginning, give them a chance, give yourself a chance to like build a connection with them. And the romance will come a little bit later. It's not going to come right at the beginning. It's going to happen like a couple of weeks in, and you're going to build a love that is actually lasting and is really beneficial for both of you. And then you don't have to deal with for me, like the fieriness, I was like so addicted to the fieriness of relationships, and it just became a bad pattern. And it also came with a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. It's like the fieriness is fun, but it's also like I hate the feeling of like thinking about somebody 24/7. I hate that fucking feeling. Where I like can't focus on my work. I can't like, it's like addiction.
Yeah.
It feels like an addiction, and I don't like that.
Healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Healthy. I think a little bit of that, because, as I relate to the caller, I think a little bit of that is like you're looking for somebody to fill in the gaps in your life.
Exactly.
In a way, and it's like you need to be the person to fill in those gaps.
Yeah. It's like, what is missing in your own life that you're trying to like find this like spicy, exciting thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on a sexcation and go learn some tantric massage.
Literally, go back to Thailand and do that.
I honestly feel, yes, like I feel like there's like something about the gay experience that is like, it promotes this like, I'm sure for some to an unhealthy degree, it's so sex positive that you get those like immediate sex feelings whenever you need them met. You know what I mean? It's like you just go have sex with somebody, and then
like the downside is then that just becomes your life, and you don't really have any kind of like intimacy with a romantic partner.
Right. So there is like, the pendulum can swing either way. I don't mind. I am not able to like have meaningless sex with a lot of people. I just have never. That's, I think, part of the reason that I have never really had a hoe phase. Like I would just like really fall in love with a person after having sex with them one time. That's not true. Not after having sex with a person, having an orgasm with a person. Done. Because an orgasm, knuckle in the B, an orgasm means that my body is releasing oxytocin, the attachment hormone, which is famously, exactly, scientifically why we get those feelings of obsession with somebody. It's the fucking oxytocin.
Fuck.
It's fucking chemicals, man. It sucks. I hate oxytocin. /love it.
But we wish our caller well. You've definitely...
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing about... Also, I do want to touch on this thing. I don't think she should get into anything. She's like talking about going to London.
Same.
I think literally don't date. Just like
Girl,
for just like
take a
minute,
break.
Like have some time to let yourself recover from this like crazy experience that you had with this.
Cool out, take a little break. Also, like, just get yourself some amazing vibrators and dildos. Go on a fucking like self-sexploration, and also get a little therapy in your life. I love looking inward. It is hard, but it's very interesting to see what you can find out. Find a therapist that is fucking good, who will really push you to like learn some shit about yourself.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah, Brian famously does not have a therapist right now.
I'm gonna be in therapy soon. I feel like.
You know, whenever you're ready, baby, I got
I know.
plenty of fucking people ready to just hook it up. Everybody should be in therapy. That's my sage wisdom of the day. But if you're not in therapy, you should be doing exactly what Brian is doing and going and learning about how tantric massage it's not a thing. It's just rubbing people down with your hands and then jerking them off.
Apparently. It's prolonging the orgasm, apparently.
That's what it's supposed to do. Did you feel
Some
like
people
there was
were
prolonged
prolonging.
orgasm?
There were some people that were not prolonging it.
Yeah. There should be a rule at that thing. You have to prolong it.
Yeah.
You have to at least try to prolong it.
Yeah, that was one of the things. They didn't even say that, prolong it. They were just like, they didn't give any direction.
They didn't give any direction or even a definition of what tantric massage is.
It would have been crazy if there was like a quiz.
Oh, see, that's the kind of thing I want. I want a quiz. Maybe I just need to like take a tantric. Maybe I need to learn how to be a tantric massage instructor. Then I'm the one leading the retreat.
You at the head of the table.
I'm at the head of the table being like, now, go down to the perineum, which is many of you know it as the taint.
You have a headset microphone.
You're going to go to the perineum. It's right here. And you're going to find out, and Brian's my assistant here. Brian says, you just, I guess, kind of like diddle it around and just see what they like. Feel it out.
You've
remember that episode? Speaking of Sex in the City, remember that episode where they go to a blowjob or a hand job course?
Yeah.
And Charlotte gets jizzed on from the guy. One of the things that she's teaching is how to do a perineum massage while you're jerking a guy off. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I wish they would actually just show it. Maybe I just need to watch some instructional videos.
They're out there for sure.
I know. I'm going to do that tonight. As soon as we log off, I'm going to find out how the hell to give a great hand job. Boy, this has been an amazing episode. Do we have any more questions about Brian? Okay, here's my last question before we log off for the day.
Yeah.
Have you taken any of your knowledge from your Mexico tantric massage retreat, and are you applying it in Daytona Beach, Florida?
That's a great question, actually. No. I'm kind of like, there's not, I feel like tantric massage is so just like, you're there for hours in a way. I think ideally it's like an hour long, minimum hour long situation or something. Well, actually maybe 30 minutes, but it's like, I gotta be at the pool.
Are you at the pool? Like, what's the vibe in Daytona?
The vibe is, it's actually not that crazy. I don't know where all the spring breakers are because I went to the beach and there's like people, but it doesn't seem like, it's not like MTV Spring Break or anything.
I feel like, isn't spring break in April?
I think everyone here is like, it's spring break.
Oh.
But the beach is giving not spring break. The beach is giving, The beach is giving water.
What is the weather there at least fun? Is it nice?
It's really nice. It's like 80s.
Ooh. Nice. All right.
And speaking of beach, come to my at Los Angeles show. Please, for the love of God, Dynasty
For the
Typewriter.
love of fucking God. People are going to come in LA. It's not going to
You
be a
never
one ticket.
know.
No, people, you better fucking
to
come.
my Dynasty
When is it?
Typewriter,
When's the
March
date?
30th. March 30th, 7:30 p.m. It's a Sunday. Fuck White Lotus. Who cares? It's like,
Who
whatever.
cares? You can watch it on demand. It's fine.
Yeah.
If I were home, I would be there, Bri. But I'm
Thank
in
you.
ice cold Alberta shooting a movie.
John will be there. Hell
Yeah, John.
yeah.
John's going.
Hell yeah.
You got at least one. Baby,
Hell yeah.
let's pack the house at Dynasty. Everybody pack the fucking house at Dynasty. Got to pull up my thing. So, Bri, after Dynasty, where do you go? Where's your tour?
After Dynasty, I'm doing a show in Chico in April with Good
Oh,
Medicine, Jackie Kalei.
Kalia.
Kalei. Fuck. Shout out Jackie.
Shout out Jackie, who I don't want to tell Jackie's story for her, but did have a marriage in London, and
I remember that.
It ended badly. So this is for the caller. It ended badly. Is no longer married. But
then I'm also doing Portland with you, Jana.
oh yeah, Portland.
Portland, May.
Portland in May, P-Town, baby. We're coming to you.
May 31st or 24th? I forget.
I don't know.
24th.
Whatever it
May
is, I
24th.
can't
May
wait.
24th. May 24th.
That is all the time we have today. We hope our wisdom made your life better, but we will not be issuing refunds. If it didn't,
If you or anyone you know needs advice, has a question, or just wants to chat about something, tantric massage included, leave us a message. There are 3 ways to do that. You can find them in the show notes, and we'll give you our smudgiest, sagiest, solicited advice.
as always, we'd love you to rate and review us on iTunes and subscribe to us on YouTube. I've been having fun with the YouTubes. I think it's been
Love
really
you.
fun. And thank you so much for tuning in. Doksha.
Hagone.